All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we are going to talk about the updated Super Bowl odds for teams who has the best odds going into 2024. And I said we'll look at DraftKings. I know there's many different sports books we could look at, but DraftKings is the one that at least I use. So I figured I'll just look at their odds and I'll give you my opinion on them. Also, one quick thing. So last night, the Knicks beat the 76ers. Great game. Very exciting. Very stressful for anyone that's a Knicks fan. Great series. A lot of exciting moments. But at the game last night was Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown. And Saquon Barkley, of course, left the Giants to join the Eagles. And he tweeted out last night about how people are still bothering him over him leaving to go to the Eagles because they showed him at the game. And again, I'm a Giant fan. Saquon Barkley is no longer a Giant. And maybe it's because I didn't have as much, I guess, like, appreciation for him as many other Giant fans had. So that's why Giant fans are really upset that he left and went to a rival. Because to be honest, the way they've been the last several years, it's just, they needed to change. I didn't really have any attachment to a lot of the players. And even with him, I mean, he was on the team since 2018. So yeah, he's been on the team for a while. But with Barkley, you know what the Giants did? They did a lot of losing. And again, it's not all his fault. But with Saquon Barkley, the Giants didn't win a lot of games. So we need to turn the page. All right, let the guy live his life. He's in Philly. He's going to a basketball game. Let the man live. Let the man live his life. It's over. Let's focus on the team that they have right now. Start getting Devin Singletary jerseys. He actually, they wasted no time. They gave Devin Singletary 26. No hesitation. So, anyways, but yeah, that just annoys me. Yeah, and like you said in the tweet, it's been 2 months, which is actually crazy that it's been 2 months since he signed with the Eagles. It doesn't even feel like that, but that's where we are. Okay, so let's get back on topic here. So here are the Super Bowl odds for teams with the best chance. I mean, I don't want to run through every single team, but who has the best odds? Can you take a guess? It's the Kansas City Chiefs, of course. So on DraftKings, they are plus 550. Then the team we just talked about, the San Francisco 49ers, they are plus 600. The Ravens are plus 900. The Lions are plus 1200. Same odds as the Bills, which I think is interesting. Bengals are plus 1,300. The Texans are plus 1,600. Both the Eagles and the Cowboys are plus 1,700. The Packers are plus 1,900. Jets are plus 2,000. Dolphins are plus 2,200, same as the Falcons. The Chargers are plus 3,000, same as the Bears. Rams are plus 3,500. Browns are plus 4,000. Jaguars are plus 4,500. Steelers are plus 5,000. And so on and so forth. And the team with the Panthers are plus 25,000. And yeah, I don't think the Panthers are going to be making the Super Bowl. I mean, but you're hoping for improvement with them because they address the offensive line. They've given Bryce Young weapons. So you're hoping that he takes a big leap in 2024. I hope he does. I hope he does. And you hope that you hope for Panthers fans too, because yeah, last year was pretty brutal. But yeah, so I want to go through some of them. I feel like I think the Bengals should have higher odds than the Bills. I think because the Bills they got a little bit weaker. They did draft a receiver. They took Keon Coleman. to be the replacement of Stephon Diggs. They signed Curtis Samuel. Khalil Shakir, we saw how he performed in the playoffs. James Cook really started playing, like, he started going off towards the end of the year, particularly against the Cowboys. You know, you have the 2 tight ends, and of course you have Josh Allen. But I just feel like with the healthy Bengals squad, and I think maybe that's it. Maybe it's because of Joe Burrow coming back from the injury that the Bills have better odds right now. But I think if the Bengals are healthy, I think the Bengals got to have better odds than the Bills do. And again, these odds are going to change throughout the season. This is what it is right now. I mean, they gave the Eagles and the Cowboys the same amount of odds. Or the same odds. They're both plus 1,700. I mean, what did the Cowboys didn't do anything this offseason. Well, other than their draft. They did draft a left tackle. But you signed 2 running backs. One of them was Zeke. You signed the linebacker. I mean, you got guys coming back from injuries. You got Trayvon Diggs coming back. There's also the possibility that they do bring back Stephon Gilmore. I did see an article on that. I mean, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just like overvaluing the Eagles and what they did. Because I don't think the Cowboys are bad. Like the way I've talked about them, it like many other people have, and it's like, oh, they didn't do anything. You would think like, oh, the Cowboys are awful. They're not awful. They're not bad at all. They're a solid team. They're going to be a solid team, you would imagine, in 2024. But yeah, the draft they added players. But with free agency, they really didn't. They lost guys. They lost their center to Washington. They had to let go of some guys. They kind of stayed the same. Whereas I feel like the Eagles got better. I don't know. I don't necessarily think the Cowboys got better, even with their draft. I feel like they're kind of around the same. But that's just me. I think the Eagles should have slightly better odds than the Cowboys. But that, again, that's just my opinion. Packers at 1,900. I mean, I feel like their odds should be better too. You know, they got to the divisional round last year. They almost beat the 49ers. You figure Jordan Love, a full season of him playing like he did towards the end of the year, you would think that maybe they should have better odds instead of plus 1,900. But, I mean, look, the Chiefs, the Niners, the Ravens, the Lions, that top 4, I'm okay with. I don't really have any complaints there. I mean, the Chiefs, look, right now they run the AFC. And the Bengals are the team that have knocked them off. Joe Burrow is, you know, still playing, and he's one of the guys that knocked Mahomes off in the playoffs. The other one is retired, and that is Tom Brady. So if you can get a healthy Joe Burrow back, that's the team that has the best chance to knock off the Chiefs. And, you know, some of the other teams here, the Jets at plus 2,000. Yeah, it's a gamble because, well, and that's what, you know, if you take those odds, that's what it is. You're banking on a lot of guys staying healthy, including their quarterback. And the Jets on paper, this should be a playoff team. They drafted a receiver. They added Mike Williams. They improved the offensive line. They drafted one of the best tackles in the draft. Like I said, you addressed the offensive line. You signed Tyron Smith. You traded for Morgan Moses. You signed John Simpson. You're hoping Vera Tucker comes back and is healthy. And you hope that Breece Hall can carry over what he did last year, which he's going to. He showed you he's one of the better running backs in the NFL. And you're hoping that, you know, with improvements at the wide receiver position that can help Garrett Wilson. And if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, that'll help Garrett Wilson as well. You know the defense is going to be good. But we need to see this offense healthy and ready to roll. And I think they will be. Like I said, I'm going to take that stance of the Jets are going to be solid. Things are going to go right for them, and they'll be a playoff team. Now, if they get to the playoffs with that defense gave quarterbacks problems last year. Whether it was Mahomes, whether it was Josh Allen, whether it was Jalen Hurts, whether it was Justin Herbert. Now, Herbert and Mahomes both won. But first of all, Mahomes should have had 3 picks. One of them got called back. But this defense against some of the better quarterbacks in some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, they played really well. So if they get in and you got a healthy Aaron Rodgers, this team is going to give these other teams problems. So I'm hoping the Jets do well because I want to see Rodgers do well, but yeah, and then again, you got some of the other teams. You got, the Dolphins and the Falcons plus 2,200. I mean, I don't see these teams making Super Bowl runs. They both have solid offenses, but I just feel like with the Dolphins, quarterback position is going to hold them back. With the Falcons, I mean, a healthy Kirk Cousins, they're going to put up points. They should have a solid year, but I don't know. You look at the other teams in the NFC, they're just better. And that goes for every team in the NFC South. Whether it's the Buccaneers that come out of it, the Saints, come out of it. It's just I look at the other teams as being better. I mean, listen, when I look at the top 6, yeah, you could look at the Chiefs and say, yeah, I'll take the Chiefs. They've won the last 2 years. They're going for the three-peat. I'll just take them. But what would be take out the Chiefs for a second. What team here, at least from the Chiefs to, let's say to the Texans, or to actually we'll go from the Chiefs to the Packers. So that's 10 teams right there. Take out the Chiefs. What team would I take to win the Super Bowl next year? If I was going to bet. Take out the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs, that's the easy pick. And I'll tell you, it's very tough. I would love to take the Bengals because I feel like if Joe Burrow's healthy, this could be the Bengals' year. I know the Texans made a lot of moves. I love what they've done. And the Texans beat the Bengals last year. But maybe this is the year that the Bengals, they break through. So maybe I would take them with the plus 1,300. But again, that's, taking out the Chiefs. Because again, the Chiefs, it's an easy pick. You just go, I'll take them. Honestly, that's what I might do. But you got to see Joe Burrow come back. So, but yeah, those are the odds. Again, the Chiefs right now have the best odds to win the Super Bowl. You got the 49ers with the second best, the Ravens, Lions, Bills, Bengals, Texans, and you go down the list. But that would be my pick. If it's not the Chiefs, I'd take the Bengals with plus 1,300. And I think they should have slightly better odds than the Bills. That's just my opinion because they also beat the Bills last year. I know it's a new year, but they also beat him in the playoffs. Joe Burrow's kind of owned Josh Allen these last couple of matchups. So, but that's just my opinion. So before we go to break, just want to remind you guys once again. Well, I was about to say what's going on here with the graphic, but yeah, we're gonna go to break. But first, want to remind you guys once again. Tip or donate, get your comments recognized. Make sure to go to the following link. That is GSMCpodcast.net. Again, that really helps the show, makes the show more interactive. between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. Again, that is GSMCPodcast.net. And as always, it is displayed on the ticker at the bottom of the show segment down below. So when we come back from our second break of the show, we will talk about the 2024 first-round quarterbacks. We'll talk about their situations, how I feel about them, my expectations, and yeah, so that's what we will discuss when we come back from our second break of the show. So with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.